I love this woman. She says, मेरे दो लड़के हैं, पर घर तो ये मेरा ही है. जो आएगी वो ऐसी आएगी.
हाँ, जैसे वो LSR की लड़कियां और मिरांडा की
I know.
लड़कियां. Okay, so this is our reaction / review to Indian Matchmaking, the show that's been trending on Netflix recently. I think we're going to talk about what we like in the show. We're going to talk about some stereotypes that we feel uncomfortable that are being perpetuated. Ruchika, you were the one who asked me to watch this show. So let's start with you. What do you think of the show?
Kind of first reaction was just like disbelief. I was like, whoa, what is happening? And the disbelief was not because of the matchmaking part of it, because I think I understand the matchmaking part that, it's curated matchmaking, whatever, and we can talk about that a little bit more. But the disbelief was the kind of people and the kind of attitudes and the comments that they were, the things that came out of their mouths, and the way all those people. So again, now I know that it's a reality show, and reality shows are, the people in the reality show are actually chosen because they want to, they cannot all be normal boring people like you and me. They have to have some quirkiness to their characters.
We are not boring.
I know. Anyway, so so my feelings for the show was, it was disbelief. Then it sort of was like, I found it funny, but not like funny as in haha. It was funny as in what is going on, and it was a bit cringeworthy also for me. But I did.
Yeah.
What about you? What did you feel about the show?
So the day you asked me to watch it, I think I binge watched it. Like, I stayed up all night. I even missed my morning meditation to watch this show. So I think I really got into the stories. My first reaction was very, oh wow. So this is people like us, right? So there's this idea of windows and mirrors. You want to see want to have some windows to look at other people, but you also want to have some mirrors that reflect who you are also. So that was amazing for me. The objections, yes, there are objections to it, but I get the premise of the show. It's saying arranged marriages work, right? So I get that premise. I buy it also. I liked that the show did not show the abject poverty and forced arranged marriages and how girls have no opinions and girls have no, that's kind of what Western people think of arranged marriages when they say arranged marriage. And I think that this show completely busts that. It wasn't like that. So here's this girl who, Aparna?
Aparna, yeah. I like her actually.
Yeah, Aparna. And she's, she wasn't being forced in any way. And even the other girl, Nadia, she wasn't really being forced. So I think that broke that stereotype, which I liked, because that's what people in the West think about arranged marriages. And
what did you think about, the show featuring more people that were, American or whatever, non-Indian, Indian people born in America, second generation Indians, and not that many Indian people from India. So there were like 3 or 4, but majority were the US people.
I like that because it just brings out this thing that even though these kids were raised and born and brought up in North America, there is something fundamentally flawed in the way that North American society thinks that we will pick our life partners, right? Mm-hmm. So I was looking at some statistics. There's 50% of adults in North America choose not to get married.
Wow.
Okay? Now, that's maybe my source is incorrect. We can check that again. But I think again goes back to why did people get married more? And this is now. So I think in 66, the statistics said 78% people got married. So the number has decreased a lot because some of the reasons for which people get married, and which has to do with women not being financially independent, has to do with women gaining access to property rights, legal rights, financial stability by marriage, which if women start earning, there is no longer that reason to get married, which is what happens with Aparna. She's not looking for someone else to take care of her. But did you feel like Aparna was treated so badly? It's like the auntie doesn't like her.
Yeah, I felt she was treated badly. I mean, she's a strong character. She has her opinions. She's not scared to voice them. And I like that about her. She knows what she wants. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel that the show kind of tried to portray her in a negative way especially because, the kind of music that came along with it, and the way they only highlighted, her statements like that. And then Seema is like, Aparna to aisi hai, Aparna to itni ziddi, Aparna ye hai. She taking her to the Jyotishi and whatever, the astrologer and face reader, saying ye to ye hai, wo hai, wo hai. So I felt that she was kind of treated a little
Very
badly there,
badly.
definitely. Yeah.
It's like Seema aunty doesn't like her at all, तो बस खत्म. उसको एक ही रिश्ता proposal दिया पहली बारी में कि ये choice है.
I know.
Though I will come back to that. Though I like that idea, I think it is important to just, consider one proposal at a time. This whole idea of Tinder and having Dunya Bhar ke Shaadi.com ke matches doesn't do anything for you, because then you're constantly looking for something better. You never make up your mind. And there is no better, yeah. There's no best. जो है ऐसे ही है, like you can't. And I think Seema also says that at some point, which she says ये tailor made नहीं मिलेगा, right? Which is true. Yeah. And I think that's something I've heard from my like the older generation say कि marriage is more of God,
the best,
I hate to say compromise. But it is, yeah. I'm sure you've compromised. I've compromised. But my husband has also compromised. सिर्फ मैंने नहीं किया. Everybody has to
compromise word को ही ना थोड़ा negative बना दिया है, बस बार बार ऐसे बोल के by using it in like situations where it's like you have no option but you have to compromise, no option but you have to compromise. I think that's why the word has gotten such negative connotation that we are scared to say compromise. But I don't think it's a bad word. What is teamwork, yeah? When we talk about teamwork in our workplace or in anything, isn't that about compromise? What about the whole kind of thing that we say, disagree but commit, right? All these corporates have these things that fine, you don't have to agree with what your boss is or what the company strategy is, but since you're a part of that company, you have to sort of just work towards the better goal of the, whatever. So what if that's also compromise, right? Exactly. Isn't it? So I don't think it's, the word has become a negative word, but.
Yeah, I think that Seema aunty never showed all the dates that Pradyuman and Akshay went on. And then we would have seen कि अरे अच्छी खासी लड़कियों को ये भी reject कर रहे हैं. One thing I don't like is how a lot of people have this perception, and the show sort of perpetuated that stereotype that arranged marriage is a uniquely Indian thing. I don't think it's an Indian concept, because I think most, maybe it's a North American idea where you moved away from the idea of parents sort of trying to pick a match. And right now, amongst the royalty, like what was the whole hoopla about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry getting married? Because that wasn't an arranged marriage, right? Because it did not meet the approval of his family. Mm-hmm. And, so I think that all cultures had arranged marriages until possibly in the West, when you have women going into work in North America. That's when people actually started moving away from arranged marriages, going to love marriage, which is the word used in India. And here it's just marriage now. But then again, I feel like love marriage was part of the Indian culture also. Am I sounding like one of those people who say everything was always in India? Like Gandharv Vivah is love marriage, right?
Yeah.
So it just, I feel like anytime you break us versus them, I have a problem with that, because I think there's still more similarities between cultures. All parents are trying to, even very high net worth business families, do not easily, doesn't matter what color of skin they are, do not easily accept their kids making matches with just on their whim and fancy, right?
Yeah. And, here's the thing, right? You want to find a suitable kind of life partner, or if you're trying to find, there are multiple ways of doing that. If you find someone, through school, through work, through whatever, your social kind of network, good. But if you're not able to find somebody like that, there is no harm in having, someone else kind of helping you find someone. And in fact, this is much better because, here's someone, it's like a curated, I mean, we talk about curation everywhere, even like for our snacks and all, we're like, we'll send you a curated box of snacks or a curated box of makeup every month or whatever. This is also a kind of curation because Seema aunty is actually going to everybody's houses and seeing how they live there. She's seeing their home, their bedrooms, their everything. So, she's getting a sense of the whole person and the family. I wonder how much it costs to get the services of someone like Seema aunty. कितना उसका business कितना सही है आंटी का चल रहा है.
You know what? I went back and watched a documentary that the same filmmaker, I forget her name, who's done. It's called A Suitable Girl, and Seema aunty is in that documentary too. And maybe if I can, I will find like this this one, the Indian matchmaking, Seemanti is so polished. She's all dragged up, looking all nice. And in the other documentary, it's Seemanti's own daughter who needs to get married. But it's interesting. Now that you've watched this, you might want to go back and watch that one too. But that's very real, very early. The good thing about that documentary is that it talks about only 3 people, but it follows the entire curve till all 3 of those people get married. Something that I did not like about this one was how, they started with Nadia and they started with Aparna, then they just sort of let them go in the middle.
Left them, yeah.
There was no closure. I did not understand what happened to Nadia.
I know, I saw that too. And जब वो last episode खत्म हुआ, I'm like, हैं खत्म हो क्या? उसका क्या हुआ यार? So then I'm like going on Google searching Aparna का क्या हुआ.
I liked that they showed those small clips of, people who've been married for 30 years, 40 years at the beginning. I enjoyed that. I always like stuff like that. And I think the point there was to just prove that arranged marriages work.
Yeah, and they did a good job of curating those couples because there were all kinds of personalities in there. There were some that really made me laugh, like one lady saying, "मुझे बोलने दो ना, अपना आप क्यों बीच में बोल रहे हो?" Like, सही है. मतलब, I can actually see her in real people around, so that was really funny.
But then in the end, you saw that they had all come for that wedding. वो जो last में जिस लड़की को सीमांटी की client बनना है, उसके भाई की शादी हो रही है. वो सब उसकी शादी पे guest थे ना.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Because I could recognize them all and I could say, oh, there was this big party and then they got some of them to sit down and recorded it that way.
Oh, I was saying that there were like all these, some of the lines that, some of the things that people said were like so real. I can hear other normal people saying that. Things like somebody said, कलकत्ते की लड़कियां तो अच्छी होती हैं. कितनी ब्रॉड जनरलाइजेशन है, बट ये हम कितना सुनते नहीं है. यहाँ की लड़कियां तो ये होती हैं, झांसी की लड़कियां तो झांसी की रानी निकलेगी, ये झांसी की लड़की ऐसी होगी, या यहाँ की लड़कियां ऐसे नहीं. कितना सुनने में आता होता था.
हाँ, जैसे वो LSR की लड़कियां और मिरांडा की लड़कियां. I have this in my notes. So this was very interesting. So the Netflix description box talks about a picky Mumbai bachelor for Pradyuman, but a stubborn Houston lawyer for
the girl, Aparna.
Yeah. I mean, at least when they were writing that, they could have changed something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember Aparna's mom calling that boy, the first boy who had come to see Aparna, a loser?
उसकी mom, but पता है क्या, mom और बेटी, they were, हाँ, you could tell that they are mother daughter. शक्ल भी मिल रही थी उनके, और उनके kind of कई वो चीजें भी मिल रही थे.
But I think that was a bit over the top. Like, I could excuse some of the things Aparna was saying, but the way her mom was acting was a bit too. I think both.
क्या, मेरा तो सबसे favorite character पूरे show में was अक्षय की मम्मी. I was like, wow, I love this woman. She says, मेरे 2 लड़के हैं, पर घर तो ये मेरा ही है. जो आएगी वो ऐसी आएगी, वो आएगी, घर तो ये मेरा.
The thing that really made me blow my gasket was the episode where Nadia goes out on a date with another Guyanese Indian boy, and then Nadia orders a mimosa, and the boy says, oh yeah, if she wants to have fun, that's okay. What? She wants to have, it's a mimosa. What, like, what are you talking about? It's just the double standards that Indian men have about women who drink is insane.
What did you think about Geeta Auntie, the other, matchmaker that they sent Ankita to?
Yeah, that was crazy. Because she was billed as this more modern person who would possibly understand Ankita. But I could see Ankita just biting her lip and keeping quiet and going like, yeah, and go, are you open to trying this? And Ankita goes like, yeah, that's fine, here. Like,
Do you think that's a difference between a Mumbai matchmaker versus a Delhi matchmaker? Because Geeta Auntie was a Delhi ki auntie, right? And Seema, the auntie, is a Mumbai ki auntie. So is there a difference between the Delhi culture and the Mumbai culture? I don't know.
So you're saying that a Delhi matchmaker who's supposedly very modern is still like below a Mumbai matchmaker?
I don't know. I don't know.
So overall, what would you... I love the show. I don't know in terms of marks. Out of 10?
I would give it a 8. It's very watchable show. It's a really watchable show. I think it hooks you in. And if nothing else, then just out of curiosity that what's going to happen, you want to see who these people end up with. And then I think they give enough of those people that of the character, the folks that are participating in the show, that you sort of get invested in them. You may not like them or their personality, or you may find them or whatever, but you want to know what happens with them. So I think it's a very watchable show.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I agree with the 8 ranking. Let's give it an 8. And
yeah, watch it for Seema Aunty. Huh? Watch it for Seema Aunty. I really liked her.
I think you should go back and watch The Suitable Girl and watch the real Seema Aunty before she gets the makeover. No,
I like Karan Joharized. I like Karan Joharized characters,
but you should watch the other one too. It's nice, and then I'm sure they're going to make a season 2 of this. So we are not done with Seema Aunty yet.
Yeah,
I think I read someone saying that there's no same-sex couple, so maybe that's what's coming in season 2.
Maybe.
So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.